What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to be taking a look at the thing we unboxed last time. It is the Gunpla Starter Set Volume 2. It comes with a Granpa. So, of course, we unboxed it last time. We looked through it, and, of course, this is the 30th version of the Gundam. So, obviously, that's really what we're going to look at. There's not really much else to look at, but I will talk about the experience of it. It's a little different, so it's a bit different of a kit, so to speak. So on the cover here, of course, you have the Gundam as it comes in the box. You've got a Gundam marker here showing you how to do the things, and you got different images of the stuff, and you've got, hey, look, runners, hey, look, pieces, hey, look, this is what you do, and then really strange instruction guide. So I gotta turn the brightness up. Gunpla, made in Japan. Bandai. And then you got Bandai 2011. Okay, so this was in 2011. So this preceded the Revive? Because the Revive was 2015? Wow. Okay. So, come back down here, and we've got, hey, look, this has a thing that shows you how to do the things. You can totally do that. And then you've got, hey, look, there's some stuff in this box. And then, oh, look, you can put stuff together. And, hey, you can draw on it. And then whatever that is comes to how-to manual and all that stuff, sticker sheet, everything in the box. Those colors aren't even close to what it looks like. Go this way. It says HG Gunpla Starter Sets Volume 2. I'm a grandpa. And turn here because it says Gunpla Starter Set 2. Comes with the HG 1144 3D. It's the 30th. It's a thing. It's a thing, guys. And you got obligatory shots there. It can go on a stand. It's pointing at the knee. I don't know why. Pointing at a bazooka. Pointing at the thigh. And you got warnings there. Between 3s and 18-year-olds, you should not stick these things in your face. If you're over those ages, well... And then you come over here, and you got a little guy. So 1,400 yen, so 14-ish dollars. I think I paid like 15, maybe. Really strange starter set thing. Still upside down. That's right. So, before I get really started, before we jump into the real review, I want to talk about the process of building this because it was a little bit different. Now, mind you, I've never built this particular kit before. Never built this version of the HG Granpa. The instructions, because like we looked at last time, because it's breaking it down and showing you technique and stuff like that, were seemingly incomplete. They're all like, hey, here's the steps to do this part, and then it didn't tell you the rest. Now, maybe I was missing something, but basically, I put this thing together on just knowledge of building, and then by the bare minimum instructions they gave you. So, it was very different. It wasn't a hard build. It was a very different build from the Revive. And the lack of real instruction, or like that we're used to, really made a difference in this. It kind of tested me as a builder to kind of make assumptions and build by experience instead of just by straight instruction. So it is what it is. So let's go ahead and bust out this version of the Granpa. Alrighty, here we go with the HG RX-78-2 30th anniversary edition, and basically it is a shrunk down HG version of like the 3.0, the way that it has been extra detailed and panel lined. And well, as you can tell here, there's no panel lines on this guy. As I've mentioned before, he's going to be part of a kit bash. He's going to be painted. Panel line it now, gonna have issues later, so did what I had to do. So hopefully we'll be able to make out some of the good panel lines, like through here and on the chest and then the arm there. Just very nicely detailed. And as I said right before, the very different build. It's not a strange build, it was just very different, considering the last thing I did was the Revive. This is actually very, very different. It's a nice build. It's intuitive because, as I said, the instructions were not complete, or at least not in my experience in looking at it. So it was very different. So let's just zoom in on the head, like we do. And he does come with the eye stickers, which are nice and metallic. Even the red is metallic, which I find that a little strange. But looks pretty good. Didn't wrap around very cleanly, if I'm honest. He does have the obligatory front and rear camera that are red, so that's always good. I didn't sever off the safety nubs there because I don't know what I'm going to do with the head just yet. It's not going to be part of the kit bash, so just in case it ends up with another home, I didn't want to modify it. He does have just a basic ball joint mount. He does do the turkey neck, can do the tilty tilts just a little bit, and it rotates all the way around. Now, one thing that was cool about this is the entire helmet of the Gundam is one molded piece. I thought that was interesting comparatively to all the ones you have to sandwich. So that was pretty cool. Now, the neck itself, right here, this blue part that you're seeing, that's a solid piece. It's part of all this, unlike other ones where he doesn't have a set collar that's jacked straight up into his throat. They do originally want you to wrap around a sticker there. Obviously, I'm not doing that because paint later. You do get some nice molded details here around the yellow collar. Looks very nice. And then on the chest, I like that you have the inset pieces here. You actually insert them. They're not a piece from behind like normal. The layers of red plastic here for the thing are actually very nice. It does have a little bit of an ab crunch. It's not ridiculous, but it's there. And you can rotate, but you run into stuff. These shoulders butterfly forward, not up, which should have been my dead giveaway. That's an older design. They do rotate very nice at the shoulder, and it is just a normal ball joint plugged in from the shoulder armor, the front and back sandwich around the joint there. That's good for straight out 90 degrees. Use your bicep rotation, rotate everybody around, and you can get a high white base. Hi! And it does have a single jointed elbow, which is only good for 90 degrees. It looks okay, but it's super limited. I don't know why they wouldn't just make it a double jointed elbow. And the joints there were one of the more interesting things that let me know this is going to be a very different kit. Now you can see here that the arms aren't perfect here, but whenever I get ready to customize it, I'll glue those shut. Eliminate that seam line just a little bit. So I wanted to move it up just a little bit closer to the camera. Even though I was zooming in, I wanted to get closer because you can see all these nice little panel lines right through here that I'm going to take advantage of. Now the wrist is just a normal ball jointed wrist, and he does come with some hands, as we'll see. These are just a fist hand. He only has a fist hand for the left hand, which I find really strange, but it is what it is. Alright, we've already done the waist, so let's get down to the hippie hips. So he does have the side to side shimmy, so it does turn. He doesn't have the rocker shimmy, which is fine. With the front skirt here that's already split, it's cool. You do get a very nice chorus line, and then with the side skirts that are actually very limited, he's not getting much of a Jean-Claude. So that kind of sucks. And this is very, very stuck there. And of course the back skirt goes nowhere, so can't kick backwards. We already saw that thighs rotate all the way around, but as usual, why would you? He does have single jointed knee. I don't know why. I guess just because it's an older design. Single jointed knee, despite the fact that it looks like it should be a double jointed knee, but they're just going for details here, not for functionality, which is interesting to say the least. You do get the ankle here, which has a hinge more or less there with a ball socket, kind of, so it can rotate up there, but the foot itself rotates individually. And then the ankle guards move, and he does have the molded like piston look and stuff like that. So basically it's meant to look like the 3.0, even though it doesn't function like the 3.0. And of course, if we come to the back of the legs, like I said, you got some of the detail work there. Same thing with the back of that, same thing with the back of there. You get all these nice molded details along with the giant panel line, a seam line right down the middle. And the backpack looks pretty good there. Hey, I remembered what that hole was for this time. And then you got the thrusters here, which once again don't move, but they look very nice. So, as a Gundam, he's pretty good. And he does look like a Gundam. So, we're going to take a quick break, come back for the accessories. Alrighty, time for accessories. I'm going to start out with the most useless accessory that he comes with. And it is the beam saber that already has the beam blade molded together. I'm not doing anything with this, honestly. Like, if you wanted to, you could definitely paint that blade, do much like I did with the SDCS Granpa, and paint it. He holds it nicely, which is great. And I do wish he had an open left hand, because that would allow for this kind of pose to be effective. But he doesn't have one, so that's pointless. But he does have two normal beam sabers, like that. And if you're so inclined, and you've got beam sabers left over from another kit, because I don't believe he came with them, you could totally do that. Then let's see here, comparison-wise. It's a little long, but, you know, if you have some stubbier ones, because there are stubby beam sabers, or if you just feel like trimming some down, you could totally do that, because this blade wouldn't be as big. But we're going to go ahead and put these back there where they belong, so we're sort of dressing him as we go. And now, once again, because he's got his holding hand here, let's go with the more unique weapon that you generally don't see. And you get the Gundam hammer, which is more or less a mace.
Yeah, that's a flail, not a mace.
And an anchor. I like the anchor bit there. And that's that real metal chain we looked at in the unboxing. And yes, you have to cut out virtually all of those spikes and put them in place. And you can definitely whack things with it. Now, the reason I said holding hand, because he can hold it. At least with that hand. Because once again, unless I lost something, he doesn't have a left holding hand, which I find strange. This is like, that would have been good, especially for something like this. So, he holds the anchor like that, and you can just droop the hammer over his other hand, so to speak, like that. And he could be like, yeah, I'm Gundam. What are you going to do about it? This is my hammer. Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. Now, that's basically all we're going to do with that hand. So we're going to move that out of the way. Pull out the other right-handed fist. Because, I mean, just what it is. Now we pull out the trigger hand. Just very nicely done. And it's attached to a rifle. Because we've never seen one of those before. And this is pretty much the same as almost any rifle with, you know, maybe some extra molding there. This part looks more like a wing than a handle, so it does what it does. Effectively, it is the Gundam beam rifle, which is always pretty, though that wrist is just a little bit loose. So you can see like that. That ball joint just kind of sucks. And also the fact that the elbows are limited on articulation definitely sucks. But it looks good with the gun. Also, those joints are very stiff. I appreciate the way they are assembled. Pull out his shield, his shield of shieldiness. And you can see the nice molded details there. Very basic tri-layer shield. So bottom, star, front. And then you got a very interesting connection back here. Just a little tab that just plugs onto the forearm. Like so. Doesn't even come with a handle for the hand. So they really didn't need to give you a hand for the left side. Now, the reason I said, I think I finally figured out that hole. Look at this, look. Look at that. You can fold that up. Now, you just plug that on. Now he's got a shield on his back. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful thing that it can do there. And now it's a Gundam. Who needs a bazooka? Okay, maybe he doesn't need a bazooka, but he comes with one. Now, unlike the one we had last time, there's no extra bits, there's no hingy parts, so it is just this. General construction is basically the same as any of these bazookas, but there's a bit less detail. So, like the missiles back here, there aren't any, just those holes. I feel like there's almost like another plate or something missing, but I guess they weren't too concerned with it. And of course, this handle doesn't hinge at all. You can sort of hold it, but I'm not gonna, because you guys know I dislike the bazookas in general. Remove that. And we'll just clip it onto his butt skirt like so. I believe I might have that backwards, but who cares? And there we go. There's our 30th Grandpa, all done and done with all of his weapons. So yeah, looks really good. So good. We're going to go ahead and compare him to the Revive. So you can see the Revive proportions are a little bit different. And he's a little bit more cartoony, so to speak. In fact, he might even be a hair taller. But you can see the proportions definitely stack things a little bit different. His legs are a little bit longer and taller. Obviously, the shoulders are a little bit less beefy. No real detail. The chest is virtually the same, but a lot less detail. So this looks a lot more like it did on the screen. But I would say the colors on this one are a lot more tune accurate, but obviously more detail than you would normally get. And as far as I can tell, they don't share a single thing except for a polycap runner. Like there's nothing at all. Like these kits are so far removed from each other design wise, there's nothing to compare. But if we're going to keep comparing, I'm going to bring in the Neon Moron as well. So you can see there's a massive difference still with that one and its proportions, but it's not technically really a Gundam. It's just a thing called a Gundam. And we'll bring in the newest of all of these kits. So different RX-78. So we have all the different RX-78s all lined up here. Very different weaponry and stuff like that, but it's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I digs it. And the fact that he comes with the extra weapons, I like that. But take another fast break. Fast break, guys, I know, believe me, I know. But, you know, Double October is coming up and I gotta pay for that somehow. So, quick break, come back for final thoughts. Alright guys, so final thoughts wise, this is a very different version of the Gundam. Obviously it's a little bit older, not terrible by any means. The details are really nice, the construction was really nice. I enjoyed the build except for the pretty much complete lack of instruction on how to actually build the thing. But like I said, I mean, it was not really so much a guide to building the kit as so much teaching you how to build a kit. You know what I mean? It was meant to be an instructional starter guide kind of thing. But, you know, I could easily see them doing a newer version with, like, this guy instead. If they haven't. You know, they might have done that by now. But I digs it. I think it's really cool. I like the details to it. It's less posable than the Revive, but it's better detailed than the Revive. And they're very similar colors. You know, I did the comparison. You know, this one's probably just a little bit lighter color than that one. And I look forward to customizing it, although now I look at how detailed the things are. It's going to be a pain in my butt, if I'm honest. Especially considering how I'm going to kit bash it. It's not going to be easy. Apparently I gave myself a pretty hard go at it here, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully I got enough time to get it done. But guys, of course, if you like this video, if you like this Gundam, if you've built it and you've had a similar experience, by all means. Now, if you built the regular one, not the starter set one, let me know. Let me know how the instructions balance. If you did do the starter one, did you have a similar experience? But give me a big old thumbs up, guys. Yep, still got some blackness on my thumbnail. Hit that subscribe button if you are new at the channel. And, of course, if you want to help support things like the Patreoners do, you can check out the Patreon. Link is always in the description down below if you don't just type in things on screen. But, of course, be like John, Thomas, and Megan, who are greatly helping out this channel. And probably saw this video before everybody else. I know they saw the unboxing before everybody else. So, yeah. And of course, if you want to help out other ways, go ahead and check out the Shoky store. By the time this comes out, I'm really hoping to have the new Double October merch out. So let me know if I did. We'll see. Because obviously these things are happening not in the exact order of, events taking place. Weird time travel stuff. So guys, catch you on the next review, which should be any minute now. And Double October is on the way. See you guys later. Remember, as always, keep on building.